3 days prior to us doing our last online of the wipe and of the month, this is what happened. These are the Italians, the Italian stallions, or the Italian mafia, spaghetti mafia, whatever you want to call them. This was their base, and this was actually the first time we came into contact with Italians on this game. When we started snowballing, we came into contact with these in PvP. Now, we knew they were pretty kitted and they had a lot of stuff in their base, but when we actually come around to looking at it and scouting it, we saw a chance that we could actually take this on. So we did. From the kits we got off other people in this server and them, we decided to go for it and decided to do an online for this particular raid. Now, if you don't follow me on TikTok, you should. It'll be in the description or in the about section on our channel. I posted at how we ultimately failed this raid. Not only did it fail like miserably, but we got countered by multiple teams. This is essentially what screwed it up for us. We got up on top of our raid base and wanted to go down to see for the walls whilst people are rocketing from the top, so it becomes a two-layer situation for the other team. They have to get the people at the bottom, then they have to get the people at the top. It went the opposite direction of what we wanted to achieve from this raid. The people that countered and the other multiple teams that tried it on us as well stalled us from doing this raid, which ultimately helped the other team, the Italians, gear up, know what they got to do, and get rockets out and quick time on our raid base. I can't lie, we took an L on this raid. We didn't lose much in terms of loot. We used all our boom and got most of our kits back, lost about 1 or 2, and even then it could have been road sign. So you live and you learn from this, and we made the assumption that we needed more people if we're going to make it this obvious that we're going to raid someone. So we went back and we went again. This is where it goes into an immense online. After failing this online miserably, we then headed back. 3 days later, we grafted for more rockets, and we called this the Italian job.
Ok, 2020. Gang.
Con la mia gang la tua house sta guardando. Non fotti clip se vesto più, lo sai che sto drippando. Sto con i miei slime, mangiamo ancora dallo stesso piatto. Legato alla strada anche se il gas non contatto. Buttami nei fianchi, sentite tra con me. La testa di caria, non fai pezzo nel club, c'ho la gang. Quindi sciacca con me, mi risolvono ogni vicenda. Dare flow. Dentro il sto con i miei fratelli, spin, noi parliamo le lingue. I frembi locali con 2 host che 20 shot con me, al posto dei carianti. Nel club c'ho la gang, 20 shot con me mi risolvono ogni vicenda. Con me mi buttano nei fianchi, 20 shot con me do al posto dei carianti. Nel club c'ho la gang, non muove cash per terra, sentiamo dentro al club. Un quarto di milione per ogni mio brother, ci sto distratto euro sopra ogni casa. Siamo leggeri, è la mia ora e ti giuro che sto pensando Milan 2007, girino sulla testa, le tasche con i soldi, vale un milione. Se arrivo con la gang, si svuota tutto il club, tra bottiglie e belvedere, la noia muove il booty. Sono con la mia gang, l'auto sta guardando. Non faccio che non sai che sto drippando. So con i miei slime mangiamo ancora dallo stesso piatto. Legato alla strada, che senta scampo il tratto. Ti sciatta con me, d'ora al posto dei carianti. Non fai così nel club, che nel club c'ho la gang. Ti sciatta con me, mi risolvono ogni vicenda. Una con me, lo buttano a mire fianchi. 20 shot con me, d'ora al posto dei carianti. Non far così nel club, che nel club c'ho la gang. Lo muove cash per terra, sentiamo dentro il club from.
Now this raid was far from finished. They kept on coming back weirdly with kits and we were confused as to why this was happening. Do they have another base somewhere else? Have they put stashes down? Or is there a loot room we haven't got to yet? We actually started to find out that there was bases beyond this one that were in that they were occupying and had kits within. Once we got all this loot, and we weren't shocked by how much loot they had. We knew they were stacked because they'd been here since the start of Wipe. Considering we were here for 5 days to a week, it was pretty decent that we actually gave these 2 onlines, let alone 1. We found where that base was and we went for it. But first we had to take out all the remaining turrets. This base was stacked with turrets that were in places that were really hard to try and get rid of, whether that be with 5.56 or HV bullets or even HV rockets. It was a pain in the arse to get rid of these turrets, which they've done a good job on. But once we got rid of these turrets, which we're doing now, it was then game.
Take an AK from here. Boy, his turrets are messing us up.
money at home. My pockets lost. They can't hold my seven. They ban my Visa. My Amex and MasterCards. I got new money and it's all cash. I got new bags and they all collapse. I rubber band a bunch of $1,000.
We returned back to base from a successful raid. Now, I don't think we actually got all the loot. We were stacked. I mean, we were stacked even before this raid, but with this online, a successful online, we were laughing. By all means, this was just the last day or second to last day of wipe, so it didn't really matter. We still waited for someone to even pile rockets into us. The biggest base on the server was I6, and we were sure that they were going to hit us at some point in the wipe, because they'd been given that much time to build up, that much time to graft, and get all the stuff they needed to do a raid. But they didn't, and that's the only thing I'd probably say was bad about this snowball. We didn't get raided, or even attempted raided, especially on online. But it is what it is. We had a successful wipe. We went through 3 servers, dominated the majority, and we came out on top on the last one, just before BP wipe. The final send-off to a good wipe. This was the Italian job.